It's a milestone, everyone, on Deep Dive Zone, a Sonic review series for fans of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Evan, joined as always by my co-hosts, Lauren and Bruce, and today we have a very special event, because today is episode 150 of Deep Dive Zone.
Yeah! Holy crap.
Wow.
And unlike with Archie Sonic, we don't have an amazing coincidence that puts a bunch of, doesn't put a comic milestone in the same episode as the episode milestone. But
Damn, huh.
I don't have anything significant to say because we've basically just been doing the same dance for like 2 years at this point.
I mean, yeah.
I didn't realize it was a milestone.
Yeah, wow, it's
Actually, it's close to 3 years since that'll be next month.
Yeah, 150 is almost 3 years.
Well, in any case, let's go ahead and jump into our usual batch of Fleetway Sonic issues, starting here with Mr. Shifter, Kitching and Elson. So you guys remember how we were like, how's Sonic going to get back without the Omniviewer? Well, he didn't. Sonic is still trapped in the special zone, and he takes to fighting baddies in New Tech City.
You know what? I kind of like that. It makes it feel like Sonic coming here was a big deal.
It's interesting to shake things up, yes. Yeah, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, there's some real consequence to him chasing Supersonic in here, and well, we've got some new stuff going on. I don't know how to best explain it. We've got a lot of very pulp comic super villains.
Yeah.
Starting here with Sonic hears a civilian in danger. He hears a woman scream, and he just barely stops this guy from shooting a lady.
Guy has the weirdest gun ever because it shoots like really tiny like plunger shots, but it also has like a laser beam.
It's maybe it's a railgun.
Yeah, I don't know. Because Sonic tosses it aside. It looks almost like a Nerf dart.
Yeah, it's weird.
But weirder still is that he takes off his noir trench coat to reveal, yes, this is Mr. Shifter, a shapeshifter. I guess we just got rid of Metamorphia last week, so...
What's that ripoff of the Incredible Hulk, but he's like purpley pink?
Oh,
is
God,
that the Incredible Bulk?
The Amazing Bulk, I think it's called.
The Amazing Bulk, I think, yeah. That's what this guy reminds me of.
You know what? Remember that for later in this comic. There's going to be something hilarious.
Okay.
That being said, this guy's not actually like Metamorphia because it's more like he's like made out of clay.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a goo man.
So Sonic's attacks either go right through or bounce right off.
Right.
Which would be an opportunity to, I don't know, have someone else participate or Sonic have to change his approach. And I guess he does sort of change his approach. He grabs him and swirls him around until he turns into like a long cord.
Yeah, so as we've seen before, all the superheroes and supervillains are quite pathetic and stupid.
Yeah.
Because this guy, like, literally a second ago was like, ha, you try to touch me, you go right through me, and then he doesn't think to do that when Sonic grabs him and starts dragging him around.
Yeah, he like ties him to a post and pulls him back until it like launches him all over the place. It's like he's rubber now, but he was like almost liquid before.
Yeah. Maybe it's like Oobleck. He's non-Newtonian, so if you punch him hard enough, he gets like rock hard.
I mean, if that was true and Sonic exploited that, I would be more satisfied with this, but...
Fair.
No,
they don't say that, yeah.
No, they don't say that. I'm just trying to give them, something.
Yeah. Well, we'll give them this weird-ass ending where the woman that Mr. Shifter was attacking teleports out of there and back to Robotnik. She works for Robotnik?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, she is an animal. A lot of the beings of the city we've seen are like weird animals. She's just kind of a normal animal, or a normal Sonic animal.
Yeah.
Some of them that are like this.
Yeah.
But it's
a few
weird
of
because,
them,
like, are the Chaotix from here? They're normal Sonic-type characters.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a very strangely defined location, and She says the special zone is too strong for Robotnik to invade, which you were hiding out here before, but okay.
Maybe the Chaotix ran him out.
Clearly, the writers were trying to cover for the fact that, like, wait a minute, if Robotnik was there, he should have been aware of it. And so, like, okay, so we'll do this one story where he's like, oh, well, I better see if I can invade it. No, okay, too much. And then the writers know to think about it again. But, like, I disagree, actually. He could totally invade it. These guys have nothing on Robotnik.
I don't see why he couldn't.
Well, that's the thing, is that Robotnik believes that he can beat Sonic, even though he obviously can't. And Sonic is the most threatening thing here. If they showed that Sonic was getting beaten by somebody else, then maybe you'd have a point.
Yeah, that's true. Although, I shouldn't immediately accept, like, oh, if you can beat one person, then you can beat everyone they can beat.
No, that's power scaling shit.
But I do still think it does show, because he defeats them easily.
Yeah, well, we don't have to believe it to necessarily believe that Robotnik could believe it.
Sure.
But that's that one. And then our second one here, hey, it's Knuckles.
Nice.
God, his eyebrows are fucking weird.
Yep, we still got the eyebrows. This is the good, the bad, and the Echidna, Kitching and Dobbin. Knuckles is framed for a crime in the desert and has to navigate a Wild West conspiracy to clear his name.
So it was kind of interesting for a while, but like, wow, Knuckles is taking a really long time.
Knuckles has been away for a fucking while, and let me tell you, there's gonna be more to come. I sure hope nobody's stealing the Master Emerald right now.
Right?
But he's in the desert, the ground starts rumbling. Is it an earthquake? No, it's a stampede of Ostro penguins? What are these things?
Yeah, my brain just immediately decided they were dinosaurs, but admittedly that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either.
Well, okay, they are birds, but they do have weird, like, reptilian legs.
Well, birds do have legs kind of like that.
Yeah.
It depends on the bird, I guess.
I guess, yeah. These things are apparently called apteryx, according to a different guy later. So, odd. And I don't blame him for thinking they're dinosaurs, because there are dinosaurs right up above. There's these dudes riding pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess there are just dinosaurs around, except not the Triceratops, because they all got hunted to extinction.
True.
Yeah. And yeah, these guys, I was really confused by what was going on in this scene, because they were like, these guys on pterodactyls see the stampede going on down below, and they're like, oh, can you see the guy? Oh, well, they touch down, and they're like, oh, he must be dead. And I'm like, are they talking about Knuckles? But no, they're talking about this rooster guy, whose name is Rooster, I believe.
Yes.
Which does not help the confusion. And then Knuckles comes out from behind a rock, and they're like, you started the stampede. And it's like, what?
Hey, I've only been here a few minutes. What's going on?
God.
It does make sense later, and I think it's supposed to be confusing at first.
I suppose.
I guess.
When you know that some of these guys are actually shady, it does make a little sense.
Yeah.
But they lasso Knuckles and they shock him with a cattle prod and take him to this backwater city prison. Although I like the shot of him hanging by a rope from the pterodactyl.
That's a good one, yeah.
It feels to me like the normal Sonic characters, they almost always emphasize how much smaller they are than other characters in these stories. Have you ever noticed that?
Kind of, yeah.
I wonder why that is. That's weird.
Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy all feel like they're meant to be short compared to everybody else, even when it's like their own friends, because like Lewis and Johnny are taller. But yes, anyway, Knuckles gets locked up by the deputy sheriff. There's like, oh, the head sheriff is out of town. And the mayor is the deputy sheriff's dad, Mayor Crouch, I think his name is. There's a lot of characters to keep track of here.
Yeah.
But he and Rooster hate each other because they both sell apteryx meat.
And Knuckles, having just arrived, instantly spots the villain of this story.
Yes, it's very weird.
Like, yes.
Because Mayor Crouch he acts all aggressive and mean, and then Knuckles was like, "Hey, I bet somebody started that stampede to try and kill you, Rooster." And it's like, okay, I didn't really get that impression per se, but then we cut to Crouch and Cheeto, who's the Cheeto, is that his name?
Yep.
Chico? The other guy, the rabbit guy with the Speedy Gonzales accent.
Yeah, Cheeto. It's got a little racism with the accent. At least it feels like it.
It's a stereotype, we'll say.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
But he's colluding with Crouch on a new way of murdering Rooster. So you already know that it was them. I feel like you could have built up uncovering the mystery a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of appreciated it because they just threw you into it, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, I can latch on to this at least. These two people are bad. Okay.
I suppose it was so confusing before that when they're like, anyway, it was these guys' fault. It's like, at least that grounds you, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're gonna try and kill Knuckles too. The deputy sheriff is lynching him with the rest of the town.
Jesus Christ.
And I mean it, as in their rope and tree lynching.
Oh yeah, no, it's just straight up.
It is funny though because Knuckles is like, psh, these people don't realize that I could just break right out of here. But
then
he
why
doesn't get a
don't
chance.
you?
He doesn't get a chance.
I guess
he
he does. Yeah, I guess.
Is he being like overconfident? It's like this is something I would expect Sonic to say out loud, even though he can't escape.
True.
That's a very Fleetway Sonic behavior, but
I could totally escape. God.
Yeah, but Knuckles doesn't get a chance to try because the real sheriff shows up and he helps. He breaks the rope and he beats up the deputy and frees Knuckles.
Good. I'm so glad that Knuckles can finally do something. He's been out of commission for 2 parts of the story so far.
Yeah, and he's also like, hey, you know, random stranger who they tried to kill. What if you won the deputy sheriff job? Literally anything could be better than the guy we just got rid of.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. It seems like the whole town is full of bad candidates.
Yeah. So, Rooster leaves with his birds while Knuckles goes after Crouch. He goes into a bar, does not find him there, but does find Cheeto there. I'm just thinking about friggin', you know, Cheese Puff Cheetos. It's not spelled the same way, but...
no, but yeah, I get that.
But this guy's a wuss. Knuckles gets him to surrender real easy.
Yeah.
There's a whole bar fight that doesn't involve him, but...
You're going to say that without starting a fight first.
I guess that's a way to show that you're intimidating. He does get one punch through the glass because it's a Western.
There is a really weird moment where Cheeto first pulls a gun on Knuckles, and then he, like, knocks it into the glass to start the fight. And it looks like a high-tech gun when it's pointed, but then when it falls in the glass, it looks like a pistol. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it goes from like, a blaster to a
revolver.
Yeah. Strange art and consistency. That's what you'd get by, like, switching between multiple artists, but Dobbin's style is pretty well established, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you've got that friggin' eyebrows on every shot of Knuckles. Yeah, no challenge for Knuckles. Knuckles gets him to surrender easily, but he learns that Crouch has already left to try and kill Rooster himself, just to absolutely has it out for this guy.
Apparently.
So, we cut forward to that night, where Rooster and his buds set up camp. Crouch is spying on him. He's working on the murder plan. And Cheeto, I hope you can hear the air quotes here, Cheeto comes up behind him and asks... a weird question to get him to say stuff he already knows? Because it's Knuckles in disguise.
Yeah.
Fishing for a confession.
You know, I didn't even notice that it wasn't the actual Cheeto. I thought that Knuckles had grabbed him and then forced him to trick the mayor. Because, so what, Knuckles can just imitate his voice, I guess? He's just good at that.
Sure,
I guess I never thought about that.
Why not? Sure.
I mean, if we're saying that his voice is just like a stereotypical accent, then I guess most people could theoretically do that.
Oh God.
Maybe he can't tell the difference because okay, this is a weird path to go down. I'm gonna abort this joke. Anyway, yeah. Okay. So it was actually just Knuckles in a hat, which you're already in shadows, whatever. But Crouch runs and threatens to throw a fear-inducing chemical into the Apteryx herd to make them stampede again and kill Rooster. That is a very weirdly just like, you know, spook them. You know, fire your gun into it. That would be my obvious one.
Yeah, but then there's a gunshot, which is more noticeable, and he's trying to be a little sneaky about it.
I guess, but they already know that he's the culprit. I guess that would alert...
This is what he... Okay, you're right. He could fire the gun now. But I guess he already had this. You're right. He could just fire the gun now. You're right.
Yeah. Either way, he's a dumbass and falls backward off the rock without Knuckles even really doing anything. Like, I guess he walks forward a little bit. But he even tells him to look out, but he falls backward off the rock, and the thing breaks on him, so the birds run over him, and I guess he fucking dies.
Yep.
Damn.
So I want to say good job, Knuckles, but it was more an accident than anything.
Yeah, no, Knuckles basically had nothing to do with that.
Not at the very end. I mean,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the day is saved. Knuckles' box is returned to him. I kind of forgot that they even took it, to be honest. And,
I didn't even notice that they took it.
hey, asset seizure, we get a free pterodactyl to fly home with.
Cool. This story was fucking weird.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites, if I'm honest.
I barely understood what was going on for half of it.
Yeah, it was confusingly plotted, I would say. But, hey, let's get back to something a little more mainline here with The Ultimate Nightmare.
Yes.
Both written and drawn, I believe, yes, by Nigel Kitching.
Yes.
Sonic and the Chaotix discover that Supersonic's prison is less than secure, and a familiar face makes a ploy for the Omniviewer.
Finally, they actually learned that Supersonic's not going to stay there forever.
Yeah, I was thinking that this would catch them off guard somehow on account of Charmy not telling them, but...
No, but they've just figured it out at some point, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
it was a desperate ploy for the writers to try to make you hate Charmy too, but I won't. I still think it's justified that he didn't tell him.
Oh, absolutely, because Vector literally says, "Why didn't you say anything about it, Charmy?" And Charmy says, "Because whenever I tell you stuff, you just yell at me." To which
And then
Vector
Sonic
responds...
is like, oh, sorry.
Vector's response, this panel is awesome, the drawing of him going, "Ridiculous, I never yell at you!"
And then Sonic says, yeah, you do, but I don't blame you. So, like, Charmy couldn't have even told Sonic.
Yeah.
Anywho, Omniviewer is not actually holding Supersonic in place, only in slow time, so we're running out of slow time. Anyway, here's this mysterious box.
It's Pandora's box. Maybe quite literally.
Such idiots. It's
I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
There's just this box here, and we're like, huh, what's this? And we open it because we're dumbasses and get blasted with green, the strongest color, and start flailing around because of something Sonic can't see.
Luckily, Sonic stood away like a smart person.
Yeah, and it's funny because Sonic wasn't even like, don't open the box. He's just like, don't get distracted. Like, why are we doing this instead of the thing with Supersonic?
Yep.
Fair question, all things considered.
Yeah, but the villains, the Sidewinder gang, step out of the box. The Nightmare
Holy
box,
crap.
even.
Didn't expect to see them again so soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently they got some shrink ray tech stolen from Fang. Or did he offer it to him?
Not stolen, supplied.
Supplied, okay.
Supplied, but I like that.
I like villains that hate each other as well, is the thing. I'd love for them to have stolen from him.
It doesn't work, though, because Knack is clearly working for them later.
Yeah.
But yes, Sidewinder's here with all his goons, and he's like, I can control Supersonic because I'm also a dumbass.
God.
So Sonic needs to fight, obviously, because the others are trapped in nightmare delusions. So Sonic handily bests Lightmare, which I guess is a gimme because Lightmare is the one who made the box.
Right.
And he baits Biohazard into vomiting toxic waste on Sidewinder, so they have to leave to get him an antidote to the poison so he doesn't die.
Once again, everyone here is pathetic. They just defeat themselves.
They really do.
Basically. And,
really
well,
lame.
That's our conclusion. It's not actually about Supersonic right now. Technically, that's a different story. Technically.
Yeah.
They go back in the box and it disappears and the Chaotix Nightmare transcends too. And Sonic's like, here's what happened. And they're like, oh, well, we better go get Knack, I guess. Very
Yeah, pretty bad story.
Very,
I think that, this is another not enough page space to breathe, because what I would have done is I would have expanded on the Nightmare box idea. I want to see what their nightmare fantasies are. Show me, like the multiverse labyrinth from Gurren Lagann or something. I want to see the Chaotix's worst fears.
Sure.
Yeah.
Both because that's interesting and because, for this comic, you can probably make some good jokes out of it.
Sure, yeah.
But let's push forward to the Tomb. Kitching and Elson, Sonic and Chaotix execute their plan to imprison Supersonic, but Fang has other plans. But we start with Sonic contacting his friends to say, yeah, I got fucking trapped here.
Took him long enough, Jesus.
Yeah, hasn't it been like multiple weeks at this point?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it's not like he has a communicator. He had to figure something out.
Still, though, it took him so long to
He
reach
says,
out and say,
I finally
oh,
got
by the
through to
way.
you, but I don't know what establishing a connection through there is like.
I guess.
But yeah, he explains to Tails, Amy, and Johnny some of the stuff that's happening. But we're also moving forward with our plan at this exact same time, so we can't actually say that much.
Right.
But we gotta go to the Black Asteroid, which is... It was once the biggest gemstone mine on Mobius. Why is it here in the special zone, then?
I feel like that's got to be a typo.
Probably?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
I also don't know what's up with Charmy's head being the design for the chaotic ship. Like,
Yes, we're flying
him
up in a
of all
spaceship
people?
shaped like Charmy's head. I didn't know when to bring that up.
They hate him so much, yet they fly around inside his skull.
So, I maybe what this is that we're gonna learn later that Charmy is from some people who are very rich. So maybe the reason they keep Charmy around is to rely on his family's money.
You know what? Sure.
very possible.
Either way, they're gonna throw Supersonic into the Black Asteroid Mine and blow up the exit.
Oh yes, this will work great to contain Supersonic.
Yeah, I don't see how this is a viable plan.
It's just not. But the
Yeah.
chaotic think it's fine, and Sonic is like, well, whatever, I guess.
It's like, well, I assume the implication is that it's made out of, like, something harder than he can break through. The problem is, if you can blow up the exit, then it can't be that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we have like a definitive measurement of supersonic strength. I don't know how they can be sure of that.
We don't really, but like...
Yeah,
Like we've never
I'm just
seen
saying
something that
the assumption
supersonic
that makes
can't
sense to me.
blast through. So
True.
Yeah, just... Because it's not like... There's no line that says, like, oh, it's, you know, Dragon Ball, it's like Kachin Steel, the hardest substance in the universe or something. No, it's just a rock. I don't know. Anyway, Fang, shrunk down tiny, crashes into the ship and sneaks inside. And yeah, as we mentioned last time, Sidewinder is paying him to steal Supersonic.
yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
I think Sidewinder is insane for trying to use supersonic, but I like money, so whatever.
I want money, so screw it.
Sidewinder is insane to want to do this, but I'll do it anyway, even though it requires me to be the most dangerous one in proximity to Supersonic.
Also, the drawing of Fang saying that he's got these awful bloodshot eyes.
Yeah, what's his
Dude.
deal? Is it gonna be okay?
I don't
He
think so.
just can't sleep, but he's thinking about all the money he might get.
This almost feels like a space western tonight. And Fang, he's been stealing the red eye sauce from fucking Cowboy Bebop. But yeah, Fang scales up and shrinks down everyone really fast. Even gets Sonic with it.
It's because the plot demands it. Like this,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to get a jump on them like that.
Yeah, and well, you guys might be disappointed, but this is where that panel edited with Fang with a massive dump truck ass comes from. But it was edited. I was so disappointed to learn the cake was fake. The cake was a lie.
Oh my god.
Don't you love that meme? It's not dated at all.
So, in typical Knack fashion, they arrive and they're like, "Ah, you idiots! You didn't see me coming out to get all of you," and then immediately crashes the ship.
Yeah. Well, nobody is flying the ship, so it's like, oops.
True.
Probably should have paid closer attention to that. But yeah, he puts the Chaotix in a ball, like I guess a hamster ball maybe.
I guess, yeah.
But Sonic manages to escape to smash Fang in the face another day. He's still strong, even when tiny, and manages to climb up on Fang's fallen hat to steal the Shrink Ray.
Which are all of those shrink rays?
I guess they just look like bullet casings.
Yeah,
it's
they
crazy
look like
that you
shotgun
can hit
shells.
Fang hard enough, even tiny, to make the hat fall off.
Yeah.
But then also being able to lift it, I don't know.
Remember, Fang was a chaotix, which means he's pathetic.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
right, of course.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, so, Sonic manages to activate the shrink capsule and just doesn't turn it off.
Yeah, he exposes Fang for too long, which he just keeps shrinking, and that's a terrible fate.
He got universe salamandered.
Did Sonic just kill a man?
I think he did.
I highly doubt that Knack will not return again.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure he probably will.
I have at this point read and notated the entire comic, so I do know what happens. You guys aren't gonna fucking believe where Fang has been sent by this.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I saw this moment and I'm like, yeah, that's like Universal Salamander in Archie. It was my first thought. Then my second thought was either they will completely brush over this, or the next story with Fang will be really weird. I'm hoping the second one does.
I'm really hoping it's going to be weird now.
It'll be weird, I promise.
Oh, good.
So, after all that, we just pick up where we left off. You know? It was a momentary interruption, and we just head for the meteor.
Pretty much, yep.
Yeah, Vector is like, wow, yeah, it's a good thing I know how to operate those capsules, which I don't know why he does. Or else he might have done to us what you did to Knack, and Sonic's like, oh, sorry, it was an accident.
Yeah. So, yeah, very, very weird. And, well, as we've established, this plan is real risky, because we're just kind of throwing Omniviewer in there. So, he can only get out if he, A, knows what's going on, which I don't know what Omniviewer knows or perceives when he's like this.
Yeah.
B, releases Supersonic by choice. I don't know if he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And C, can teleport away faster than Supersonic can kill him, assuming he can be killed, because who knows?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good plan, because
No, it's a really stupid plan.
yeah, I don't know. And that's the end. They don't follow up on it until a little bit later.
Yep.
We first have to go through episode 4, A New Hope. It's just called A New Hope, like Star Wars.
And it's not even like any kind of Star Wars reference?
No, did they just not know? I don't know.
I mean, I doubt that, but it's entirely possible.
I mean, technically, A New Hope wasn't called that until later, but
No,
this
it was originally
later
just
enough,
called
right?
Star Wars. Yeah, no, by the 90s it was called episode. Well, no, was it?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's an interesting thing to look up later.
It was 1988.
Stringer and Flint. The Freedom Fighters do their best while Sonic is away.
That's a good description.
This is basically just a whole story of badnik bashing.
No, we don't mind that, to be fair.
I'm glad. It seems like the Freedom Fighters have come a long way, because back at the beginning of the comic, Sonic being away means Robotnik wins, but now they're actually at least trying to put up a fight. They're doing
they're actually relatively holding their own. Granted, they have, but when Sonic went away, the only Freedom Fighter might as well have been Sonic.
And importantly, when Sonic got teleported to the future, Tails, Johnny, and Lewis actually all got teleported with him.
That's true.
I completely forgot about that.
And Amy wasn't really a member of the team at the time, but
right. I think having Amy and Johnny and even Tails now as actual fighters helps.
Oh, absolutely. It's not to say they're perfect.
No, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, Amy in particular here gets grabbed by a Valkyrie and flown into the sky and dropped, basically, because... Well, okay, she gets dropped, but it's because it gets shot, and so she gets caught by Short Fuse, who was the one who shot it, so...
Right before that, there's a bit of possibly character development, I can't quite tell, from Tails, because Johnny is like, face it, Tails, we're not strong enough without Sonic, and then Tails is like, no, we're not finished yet.
Good shit, Tails.
That's a far cry from, I wish Sonic were here, if only Sonic were here.
Yeah.
Also, strange to hear that from Johnny. I always think of him as one of the more reliable, I don't know.
Generally, I think he is.
I would think
it's hard to tell. Johnny is the least characterized out of any of the main heroes.
Well, yeah, he's the most inconsistent, but generally he's not. He doesn't seem like he's like, oh god, Sonic's not here. We're all gonna die.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, they keep fighting. Short Fuse arrives. They keep fighting, and I think I think if this story is meant to establish anything, it's that Short Fuse is going to kind of be picking up Sonic's slack for a little bit.
He joins the team at the end, or at least until Sonic gets back at the end of the story.
I'm glad that even though he's got to be an edgy loner, he's not completely unreasonable. He's like, okay,
No.
best to join forces now.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He's like, okay, it makes sense for me to join the team for now.
Yeah, maybe that's just to establish that, like, you know, Sonic's gone, and he's going to stay gone for a little bit, but it's like the war with Robotnik is not being left out to dry. So
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I suppose for just showing that our characters are still themselves and cool, this is fine.
Sure, yeah.
So, let's progress on to the Hive, Kitching and Corona. Charmy B is taken back to his hive in the special zone, but manages to bring Sonic along as a +1. And, yeah, Sonic is trying to figure out how to go home, and we get one of the premier Sonic is a dickhead moments that people like to pass around. Which is that through a window, he notices somebody is kidnapping Charmy, and Sonic's like, nobody's going to miss him. All I have to do is walk away as if I haven't seen anything.
Oh my god!
And I know that he doesn't actually do that, but why would you even think that? Why are you an asshole?
He considers it, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bad Sonic moment, but I mean, in context, it's like, okay, but Charmy is supposed to, apparently, in universe, be the most insufferable person ever.
Yeah.
Like, they're bad at portraying that, but... like, this is not isolated Sonic. Everyone hates Charmy. Like, I feel like everyone would react this way, although the Chaotix just wouldn't help. Sonic is actually being extra heroic.
Yeah, the Chaotix would straight up ignore Charmy.
I mean, sure, but if I saw a coworker that I hate getting, like, tossed in a dumpster, I would still go to check what's going on.
Yeah, maybe you'd agree and you'd join them.
I'm gonna move on. Charmy is being captured, in fact, by other bees. The queen sent them to get him because he broke some oath?
Yeah, that's what's claimed, at least.
And they're like, well, you need to come back here to renew your something, I don't know. It's not exactly clear what they need him for, but
not really.
He's like, hey, I can take a friend to speak on my behalf. That's what the rules say. What? I don't know how the rules work, but Sonic, come with me. And Sonic's like, I hate you, though.
Yeah, we're not friends.
I have absolutely no idea why Sonic agrees to come.
It's very weird, right? Because he says, I'm not Charmy's friend. You'll have to get yourself out of this one. And then they just cut to, I'm so glad you changed your mind. But, like, Sonic... yeah, reasonably, Sonic shouldn't care, because this is Charmy's problem, and he now sees that Charmy's not in danger, so...
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, here's the Hive. It's Minecraft Mountains.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody knows who Charmy is here, and apparently they manufacture gold here?
Yeah, I didn't know they're alchemists.
They fabricate gold? Yeah, I guess.
Wouldn't that completely
like that.
wouldn't that completely kill the value of the gold, though?
Maybe they sell it
eventually.
outside the special zone.
It depends, because... now I suddenly want to know the complex economics of gold in the special zone.
Yeah.
Because, like, they could be running a whole racket here. Like, gold is common, but
right.
if people don't know that it's common, they could
my God.
pay a lot for it.
Oh my god.
Maybe it has to do with the difference between the special zone and the main zone with the number of rings.
Maybe.
You ever notice how every Sonic comic book
any rings?
places rings around at the start and then ignores them afterward?
I don't even remember there being rings in the first place.
Yeah, I completely couldn't
There was
remember.
in the first story, there was a machine powered by him.
Oh, that's right.
But, yeah. I don't know. They make gold. I assume it's, like, meant to parallel, like, instead of making honey, they make gold.
Yeah.
No, yeah, totally. And I like that. That's unexpected.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Anywho, we get to meet the Queen, who is fat and is Charmy's mom. Charmy is a prince in this, just like he is in Archie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he doesn't disappear for 100 issues.
I mean, okay. So, him being a prince, I guess, is a natural conclusion based on bees,
Sure. Yeah.
Probably a coincidence. But I'm thinking, we never even saw Golden Hive before it was destroyed in Archie.
That's true. Also,
And I don't know, 'cause
100 issues?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay. There you go, yeah.
You say, unfortunately. I don't mind Charmy in this comic, though. I stick up for him
really
because everybody
don't.
else is a dickhead to him.
No, I
Yeah,
don't really mind him
same.
that much either.
Honestly, though, he's quite pitiable because there's a great moment where he's trying to argue his case, and Sonic is like, "Are you sure you really want to go back to the Chaotix, though? I mean, they yell at you all the time." He's like, "The guys just pretend that I get on their nerves. Poor mistaken fool."
Yeah. But they also establish that he's doing it because he's kind of shirking his princely duties, whatever those are.
I don't know why he has any, to be honest.
Now, young man, why aren't you doing your chores?
When you're a prince, that's just how it works.
I guess so.
I will add, though, at least this comic does not make the mistake that Archie did of assuming that the brim of Charmy's helmet is part of his face, because the other bees don't have that.
Yeah, that's right.
They do have helmets, but that's just because they're guards. But, Charmy can't jerk around with the Chaotix forever. He needs to do his princely duties, which I still don't know. Maybe they have something to do with this invading wasp forces.
Of course, the greatest enemy of the bees would be wasps.
Led by a guy named Vesper. Kind of
Is
looks
he supposed to look like Genghis Khan?
I don't know. Maybe.
It feels like it.
Yeah. He wants gold.
Yeah.
The Hive guards are completely useless against his forces, honestly. So maybe it's not a Chaotix trait, but a special zone trait.
Yeah, they're all just idiots.
They're all meant to be obstacles in special stages for Chaos Emeralds. They can't make them too hard. Except for the 4th and 5th ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Sonic steals all of their weapons really fast, spins Vesper around, and then surrenders.
Yeah, I like when Vesper is like, you can't defeat us after being knocked around. There's too many of us. And Sonic is like, oh, you're right. Darn.
Yeah, it's like, what? What the hell are you doing? And, of course, it is all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Sonic tells Vesper to walk back into the tunnel out of here to tell his men that they surrendered. And then he spins around in circles to make wind that flushes them out of the tunnel. I hope there was none of the guards there, or else they were sent with him.
Yeah, like, how the heck could all of them been holding on? Like, that's not possible.
Maybe they have more brute strength, but less dexterity with weapons. I don't know. But yes, the wasp men are defeated. It seems like if they could just fly back, doesn't seem like that really hurt them that much, but okay.
Yeah, there's like, seal off the tunnel before they get back, and that'll keep them forever.
We're trapped in
Apparently.
here now?
Damn.
They still managed to leave later. I don't know. But yes, Sonic is hero of the Hive, and Charmy is forced to stay because he sucks. Except, no,
Jesus.
because Sonic makes a hero's request to let him leave. Why? Charmy did not prove his worth here or anything. Sonic didn't even want to come.
Yeah.
And he still hates Charmy, and he recognizes the other Chaotix do too. Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Weird story. I appreciate exploring more surrounding the characters,
Sure.
but just extremely strangely constructed.
Yep.
Yeah.
But speaking of exploring more around the characters, let's look here at Secret Weapon, Stringer and Corona. Johnny gets news of a secret weapon being deployed by Robotnik, but it's more dangerous than anyone could imagine. Hey, Metropolis at night. It feels like we never see nighttime in these comics.
Yeah. Probably more annoying to draw.
Yeah, I suppose that's more black to ink.
Yeah.
That's why Night disappears from Dragon Ball in the Cell arc. Johnny is buying info from this rat guy about a secret Robotnik weapon at Gumtree Zone.
What's the rating?
5 out of 10. It's too weird.
Okay, cool.
But we see almost immediately that it was a setup by Eggman. Johnny is still in frame walking away as Robotnik comes and says, "Well done, my friend."
How could Johnny not see him? Like, that's impossible.
With those big old ears, how do you not hear him?
That's true, too.
He looks like he's 6 feet away.
Yeah. Robotnik could have at least waited for him to be like 7 feet away.
That's so stupid. Why did you say that? I'm sorry, that registered for me a second after. It just... Anyway, 2 days later, everyone is here looking out for the weapon, and hey, Shorty has his Sonic-like proportions back. That's nice.
Thank God.
We are at this trooper convoy with a box, and well, Short Fuse is never one to strategize. He jumps immediately into action.
Yeah.
He's taking the role of Sonic very well, actually.
He is, yeah.
I suppose so, yes.
Yeah.
But we notice, Tails notices at least, that they don't seem to be putting up much of a fight. Very strange. I wonder why. And from the box they were carrying bursts a new Cybernik!
Vermin.
Yes. Who I might add is the very same rat who set us on this collision course.
And he wasn't, like, captured or anything. He willingly got, I almost said roboticized.
Well,
he...
I mean, this is more roboticization than usual for badges.
That's true, actually, yeah.
I really like this. This is great.
Oh, this is cool.
This is something that only Fleetway Robotnik would do. Because Fleetway Robotnik famously has a lot of henchmen, as we've noticed many times. And so he was actually smart for once, and he was like, the Cybernik conditioning didn't seem to work very well.
Just find someone who's already loyal.
Exactly!
It is honestly really smart.
Good shit. Yeah, and I think that this is a good turn, because it also creates an enemy that can match Short Fuse.
Yes. Really cool change.
You know, and the mech designs are, you know, they're still, you know, specific to this comic, but they're consistent between the two of them. It makes...
Yeah.
It makes for good visuals.
Both... Exactly.
But the fight between them does not go well.
Not really.
Tails can't do shit. Short Fuse keeps getting electrocuted by his eye lasers and his zap tail thing.
I'll have to keep an eye on this. I'm sure we'll see more of this pairing, but it seems like Short Fuse doesn't do well against opponents that are evenly matched with him, because he also kind of got destroyed by Brutus.
I think he's so used to being overpowered compared to everyone else. I think he struggles with...
He struggles with Sonic,
similar.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah, he struggles with Sonic, yeah.
Sorry, it's not just a zappy tail, it's specifically a cord that he injects a virus into Short Fuse with.
True, yeah.
Yeah, it's a literal computer virus syringe.
He also breaks Johnny's weapon, but I bet he probably just has a closet full of those.
It's been broken before, so...
Yeah. The thing that stops him is a bit contrived, though, because we're here in Gumtree Zone, which to me suggests that they would be like, you know, rubber trees, you know, or you know, stuff that exists in real life. But Amy shoots one of the fruit, and apparently the juice from it is so acidic that it just melts his armor.
Yeah, I find that very difficult to believe. Whatever, I don't know if they gave it an actual metal, but an actual name, but the metal that the Cyberniks are made out of so far has been pretty darn strong. But I guess, okay, you can add, along with being really cold, gum tree fruit juice to the list of weaknesses that the metal has.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, I'm the one saying that, like, oh, it's so acidic that it does that, but they say, yeah, it's corrosive to metal, so does that mean that it doesn't hurt the heroes? Because that's what I would have done. I would have set it in a place that's, you know, a really toxic environment that creates a problem for the heroes, and maybe, like, Vermin spends most of his time flying, and only when they manage to knock him down and splash him with it does it, like, oh no. You know, at least something. But,
yeah.
Yeah. Not amazing. I mean, good job, Amy, but yeah. But they take Cybernik, or rather, they take Short Fuse back to Techno for some debugging, which means he's going to be out of commission for a minute, maybe? I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, but we have not defeated Vermin completely, so we will be seeing him again, yes.
Yep.
And frankly, yeah, I really like that change. Frankly, I could use a couple more Cyberniks, who knows?
Sure.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Not too many, but hey, you know, We saw one cool old concept brought back, and now we're seeing another old friend of ours. It's Captain Plunder, everybody.
Let's go.
I am really surprised by how many Captain Plunder stories we're getting.
Yeah. This is
somebody
Shanghaied.
Someone must have really liked him.
I'm not complaining. I like him too.
I mean, yeah, I'm not complaining.
Yep. This is Shanghaied, Kitching and Elson, with Elson as co-writer, which I don't know if we've seen that before. I don't think so.
We've seen a co-writer in general?
Not usually. I mean, I assume that Kitching and Stringer were pretty close because they wrote almost every story, but...
Sure.
Captain Plunder's pirates make a dangerous new frenemy. That's how I've chosen to write the description here. And,
good summary.
Yeah, Captain Plunder is here in the special zone, and hey, that's where the star post ended up.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That is hilarious. Of course, he would just get it somehow. I want to see that story, story of him getting it. But
yeah, I guess he had to go scavenge other places after Zorabel slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And we finally get proper explanation for what his crew's deal is, which is that he just kidnaps people, says you're my crewmate now, and that's it.
Absolutely
that does
ridiculous.
Explain a lot.
And completely on brand.
I love it. It's so stupid. And that perfectly explains why his other crewmates were so easy come, easy go. They don't care about him, and he doesn't care about them.
Fair, yeah.
I don't know why this works, but it does somehow, apparently.
Yeah. So they end up capturing this green guy. I was like, why is this guy familiar? Is he the same species as Grimer? I didn't remember who this guy was or the fact that we had met him before.
I.
Yeah, this is Proctor Speckle, which is a very tortured way of saying Dr. Jekyll. But we don't. I didn't quite realize that was him until later. Still, they start by throwing him in the brig with some chocolate they stole.
Why was there chocolate in the brig?
I mean, they stole it. They had to put it somewhere.
Plunder just likes some chocolate sometimes. Plunder seems to enjoy the simple pleasures in life too, and apparently everyone on board hates Simpson, but keeps them around because they're a good cook. So I guess everyone's got to have a Charmy in their crew.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so they send Simpson down to get the chocolate from the brig where the new guy is being held. But shocker, the new guy ate a bunch of the chocolate. They say he's scoffed the lot, in fact, which that doesn't look like he's eaten all of it, but whatever.
There was a lot more before.
I mean, that could all just be wrappers.
Yeah, maybe. But yes, Proctor Speckle. He also says he's an alchemist, which maybe he was trying to corner the gold market. Anyway, they're killing him for stealing the chocolate. They're making him walk the plank because they're pirates. But oops, he opens a vial underwater, and now I remember who he is. He's Mr. Fry. He's one of Sidewinder's goons.
He's a big boy.
He's about to be.
Yeah,
yes.
He becomes a big boy.
He gets big and bursts out of the water and attacks them. Plunder is like, everybody fight! And it goes exactly how well you'd expect it to. Which is not very well.
Plunder puts it in a little bit of a better way than just everyone fight, actually. We have an awesome line from him when he says, "Rip him apart, mates. I'll use his lugs as a tea cozy."
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. But, Mr. Fry, seemingly in this form, is not really thinking that hard about the pirates. He keeps fighting long after the guys are, like, flat on their backs, because a shark attacked him on the way down. So he just punches it out and is like, hey, let's cook the fish.
Yeah, apparently he's a very friendly guy, if you just get to know him.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
So, temporarily, we actually do have a new ally. Because he cooks it with Simpson. But, oh right, he opened his magic vial of serum underwater, so a bunch of the fish got roided out too.
These are such 90s designs.
They bring across that street shark energy, don't they?
Yeah.
So Mr. Fry jumps in there with Simpson, grabs the sail and covers them with it and starts wrecking house.
It's a very quality sailcloth.
Apparently. Problem is, his transformation runs out in the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
So Speckle tries to scamper off in all of that, and at a certain point, Plunder's like, "I've had enough of this bullshit." So he just breaks out a mallet and starts smashing everything under the tarp.
I love this. This is a
I like that's labeled as shark repellent.
Yeah, it's the best kind of shark repellent.
Yeah, screw Batman's plan.
It is a great moment. It seems like at the end of the day, Plunder's really the only one who can get anything done. He can't really rely on his crew, so.
I mean, that doesn't. I mean, to be fair,
we now know why.
Yeah, he just kidnaps his crew. They're not like trained at all.
Yeah, so he digs Simpson out of one of the fish's throats once their transformation runs out.
And of course, Simpson would survive that because he follows cartoon logic.
Of course, yeah.
But hey, now we have a whole bunch more fish we can cook.
Heck yeah.
And Speckle paddles off in a stolen chest full of rum truffles.
Yep.
So, Captain Plunder stories, still funny.
Yeah.
They're wacky. Yeah, they're
nice
great.
and silly.
Yeah. Speaking of something kind of silly, let's look here at Head in the Clouds, Stringer and Corona. With Sonic trapped in the special zone, Robotnik is really, really bored. That's most of what the story is. He's annoyed that Sonic isn't home because he can't kill him now. So he's looking for stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is on point.
Oh yeah.
When Robotnik at the beginning is just absolutely furious, he's like, "Why is it so unfair?" Greiber's like, "What? Why aren't you happy?" That Sonic's guy's like, "I am happy, but I'm also furious because I didn't get rid of Sonic."
Exactly. I'm not the one who did it, so why should I be happy?
Well, don't worry. He'll reestablish his dominance with a giant Robotnik-shaped rocket.
Mm.
This is funny because normally Robotnik would like make this a weapon or something,
right.
But no. I guess probably without Sonic around, he's like, it's not necessary. I'll just orbit my head around the planet so everyone has to look at it.
It's like the moon in Majora's Mask. You look up into the sky and that's staring you down.
You know what? Yeah.
But he, unfortunately, rushes and underfunds the production of his symbol, so it crashes and burns. This is a metaphor for Sonic games.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's okay. It's okay. They've been doing better the last couple of years.
It's true. Ooh.
There's plenty of good games. We're not going to worry about it. We're not going to worry about it. Yes, Robotnik is deeply embarrassed by this stupid decision, but
as he should.
Don't worry. We'll just make sure it's reported as a sabotage. And this is how he curbs the boarding. He satisfies himself knowing, at least even without Sonic here, I can still lie to people.
Yay!
Yep.
There's something almost cute about how pathetic that is. But with all of that, we are going to do our final story here, where it's Christmas again. It's January, but it's Christmas.
Oh yeah, man, this would have been better like 2 weeks ago.
Darn.
Yeah. This is A Christmas Wish, Stringer and Corona. On Christmas morning, Richie Rover gets an insect guy costume and an insect bite to go with it. Is New Tech City seeing its newest superhero emerge?
Fucking better be.
So, for starters, Santa Claus is real. Christmas in New Tech City has a real Santa.
Well, to be fair, Santa's only real in the special zone.
How I would like for that to be true.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
This kid, Richie Rover here, gets a not Spider-Man costume.
No, yeah, it's Insect Guy.
Insect Guy.
My favorite, I can't think of a synonym for Marvel.
Astonishment.
Wonder.
Yeah.
My favorite Wonder Comics character.
And importantly, insects. Spiders aren't insects. They're arachnids.
That's true, they're not. He's also got like an X-wing hanging from his ceiling. So there's our Star Wars reference.
I'm sure. I think
In the
we've
wrong
seen
story.
Little Star Wars references here and there. I don't think this is the first time. I could be wrong.
Oh, I doubt it's the first time. I just think it's funny that it's not in the story called A New Hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But he puts on his not Spider-Man costume and gets bitten by a bug and is like,
So he
oh,
immediately assumes he has superpowers.
clearly the backstory is going on here, so I'll just jump out the window.
Holy shit.
I mean, kids are stupid, but this is
Kids are
really stupid.
This is a different level of idiotic.
And his parents aren't even fast enough to catch him.
No.
His mom has too much ass going on in this panel to be able to catch her son.
No, he gets the worst fate ever though. He's saved by Charmy.
Even the story, the writers, I should say, have to chew him out because the first time in this comic we get a little PSA. Be like, "Hey kids, don't jump out of windows."
Don't
Sonic
do this,
Says moment,
dumbasses. It is basically a Sonic Says.
Charmy is an actual insect guy though.
It's true, he is.
But yes, the rest of the Chaotix call the kid out for being stupid. But don't worry. Burning Rock Man is here to interrupt this PSA.
The Blazer.
Good old Burning Rock Man.
Blazer. No. Burning Rock
It's
Man.
Burning Rock Man.
Only name for him. Don't worry, though. Richie did not learn his lesson at all and is like, I'll fight you.
Yeah, he has to prove himself as Insect Pup.
So he almost dies again, obviously.
Yay.
Yep.
But now Sonic is here to save him and beat the guy very easily by splashing snow on him.
This is very telling because the Chaotix here are like facing down. I don't remember what you call them. The Blazer.
Burning Rock Man.
Burning Rock Man. And they're like, how are we going to approach this guy? And then
Sonic just does it. Sonic's like, guys, it's not that hard.
How could the Chaotix be outdone by the equivalent of a snow shovel?
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Richie gets sad because they're not letting him act like the superhero that he isn't. But Sonic's like, don't worry. You can be a hero by helping out in your local community. PBS is funded by viewers like you, but yeah.
Thank you.
They go to the hospital and they give presents to kids. How giving.
Yeah, I mean, wholesome.
No, I mean that's not wrong. It's perfectly fine.
I just think it's funny. It's like kids so depressed that the Chaotix won't let him effectively kill himself. So Sonic's like, "Oh, I'll take pity on you, kid. Here, come on, help us give kids to sick kids."
Yeah. It's it's like cute little Christmas story, but yes, he does almost kill himself.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's our story. I'm slowly starting to realize they've partially turned Sonic into a superhero story of its own with this city full of supervillains.
Yeah.
On top of Sonic basically having a superhero backstory already in this continuity.
Yep.
But yes, those are our stories for tonight. It's interesting how not boring this is for kind of spinning its wheels a lot of the time here. Because you know that Supersonic is not staying in that fucking mine.
Yeah, we're just biding time for Supersonic to inevitably just break out.
It helps that these stories jump between like locations and characters. It's not just like Sonic fights villain of the week, although he does do that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see next time that there is a limit to this because there are definitely some points where I'm like, okay, that's enough of that. But within 2 weeks we will close out most of the current plot lines. I would like Knuckles to be home personally before all of that.
Nice. That'd be nice.
But he won't be. But with all that being said, that is where we are done for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, or feedback, you can reach us at any of the links in the link tree in the description. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And take care.